Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, where we've just returned from a successful mission stamping out some heresy, although at the cost of a couple of wounded marines, but, well, you know, they're marines. While it is going to take some time for them to recover from their wounds because the Baleful Edict is in a pretty bad state and I haven't really been able to upgrade the Apothecarium, they just don't care, because they're marines. The only negative effect that you incur from having wounded marines going into battle is that they start off with slightly fewer hit points than unwounded marines. Other than that, there is no difference. They're still complete badasses. Meanwhile, I have detected 3 further Chaos Bloom infestations, and unfortunately, because the Baleful Edict is still barely recovered from damage sustained in the tutorial, I can only reach one of them in time. So I'm going to have to pick the one that I respond to, because I can only respond to one, based on the rewards that they offer. Which mission offers the stuff that I need the most, also bearing in mind that Inquisitor Vakir has completed a Foxwalker autopsy, but the Chaos Seeds that we recovered from the previous mission were too badly damaged for her to get other than the most basic information from them, so in this mission, she wants me to recover some undamaged Chaos Seeds. As well as that, we've unlocked a couple of new things that we're going to see in effect in this mission for the first time.
Target seed location identified. However, thermal readings register below safety protocols.
We are no wolves of Fenris, but such factors will not deter us. Elimination of these seeds is paramount.
So the mission objective today is to eliminate all of the seed carriers. But that's just the basic mission objective. At the end of the previous mission, we unlocked the requisition system by establishing communications with Grandmaster Varden Kai, back at chapter headquarters on Titan, as well as giving us the chance of obtaining some bonus mission rewards from chapter requisition at the end of the mission. It's also unlocked the Glorious Deed system. And the Glorious Deed for today is kill 8 enemies with melee weapons. Before each mission, you're now given the choice of accepting or refusing the Glorious Deed, and if you accept the Glorious Deed and complete it, you will gain bonus requisition points. But if you accept the Glorious Deed and fail it, you will lose requisition points. So it's not always a good idea to accept the Glorious Deed. However, this one, get 8 melee kills, yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult. Right, we know there's a cultist or whatever patrol over there, indicated by the green marker. Now at this point you can see that I'm worried about having enough action points to do something when I move Purgator Fool up, and I haven't yet figured out at this point that as soon as combat is initiated, your action points are refreshed. So I don't actually have to worry about having enough action points to shoot after I move up and discover this enemy patrol. There's a whole bunch of things that you don't have to worry about in Chaos Gate that you would have to worry about in, for example, XCOM 2, like reloading your weapons after combat. These are Marines, they're professionals. That's just something that they do without having to be told. Alright, good grenade. Didn't actually kill any of them because, you know, I need melee kills here, but reduced a whole bunch of them to low health. And scattered them, as well as removing all of their cover. I've actually rotated a couple of the Marines from the B team in here today. You can see I'm using 2 Justicars rather than just Justicar Iolanthus. And that's not so much because I need to rest my wounded Marines. Like I said, they're Marines, they don't give a shit. They'll go into battle wounded and they won't care. But I want to spread some of the experience around for the B team, so that in the event that I do have to rotate B-team Marines in, because some of my other Marines are occupied, they're off on special business, they're in training, whatever, I'm not just rotating a bunch of utter noobs in who don't have the training or experience to survive the difficulty of later missions. Despite the fact that I do require 8 melee kills here, don't worry, there's gonna be plenty of bad guys for me to complete that Glorious Deed on. I'm setting up my Marines in cover with their Aegis shields, and we're setting up some Overwatch. And this, if nothing else, is going to show you just exactly how effective Marine Stormbolter Overwatch can be against groups of weaker enemies. One left? No. Well, there is one left. Oh, wait a minute. Well, technically there's 2 left, plus whatever's in that group over there, plus whatever other patrols I have not yet encountered. And I can kill these 2 survivors easily enough by just shooting them, but I need melee kills. And that does not come without its complications, which is why I'm using the Hammerhand ability on Justicar Islanthus to kill this guy, because Hammerhand is a guaranteed crit. And critting an enemy unlocks special abilities, such as disabling his pestilential explosion on death. Yeah, those guys explode in a plague cloud when you kill them, which tends to discourage you from hitting them in melee. But scoring a crit opens up all kinds of bonus nasty things that you can do to them, which is why if you can guarantee a crit, and you can with a Hammerhand ability, it's always a good idea to use it. Now this initial strike isn't going to be enough to kill this guy, but it's okay because I have 3 action points and I use for movement and combat, whatever you need at the time. So 1 to move up, 1 for the initial strike, and the 3rd and final action point to finish him off.
Enemy destroyed.
Combat is over, everybody gets their action points back, and any Marines who expended any ammunition automatically reload their weapons. Because they're Marines, they don't need to be told. Right. Not sure which way that patrol is going. And the warp meter at the top of the screen is up to 75%. I think at the moment, with the level of chaos corruption on this planet,
With me, my brother.
it's increasing by 15% per turn. But once we get the UI back, there it is. You can see the thick purple bar indicates that it's now at 75%, and the pale purple / pink bar shows you how much it's going to increase by in the next turn, assuming you don't do anything else to increase the warp meter. And there are lots of things that you can do to increase the warp meter, particularly since we are the Grey Knights chapter and we're all psychics.
What is your will?
Tapping into the warp in order to use your psychic powers increases the warp meter. For example, I think every time I use my Aegis Shield ability, it increases the warp meter by 5%. It's now up to 90%, which means we are definitely getting a warp surge, and warp surges are never good for you. We're definitely getting one in the next turn. Those seed carriers are moving this way, so I'm going to need to set up ready to receive them. And you do kind of have to plan your strategy around when the warp surge is going to be triggered, because a warp surge is never good for you. And it did take me embarrassingly long to figure out that I could actually manage that warp meter to my advantage, or at least manage it so that it didn't go off to my disadvantage. The last thing you need when you're already in danger of being overwhelmed and forced to use your psychic abilities is to trigger a warp at the same time. But through careful use of your psychic abilities, you can trigger a warp surge when you are ready to handle it. Like now, for example, when I'm not already under attack. Putting my Marines in a cover and triggering their Aegis shields has advanced the warp meter to 100%, so I am absolutely going to get a warp surge now. But since that warp meter is already at 100%, it doesn't matter if I continue to use my psychic abilities to, for example, ensure that everybody is in cover and with an Aegis shield up. 100% is as bad as it's going to get. So, just exactly how bad can things get if you're not quite as prepared for a warp surge as you thought you were? Purgator Thule is suppressed. There are patrols on both sides, and here comes the warp surge. And it honestly couldn't have been any worse if I'd tried. Reinforcements to the rear, patrol to the left, patrol to the right, enemies to the front, covering me with suppressive fire. Although at the moment I do only have the bad guys to the front and the reinforcements to the rear that are going to arrive in one turn. At the moment, the patrol to the left and the patrol to the right are not yet engaged. So, I know I need melee kills, but I honestly can't afford to mess around here. So, grenade out. That's removed the suppression fire,
No demon shall
which means
hold
Purgator
its
Thule is now free to react, and it has killed one of them. There's another one down, and it's a melee kill. Gonna get into hard cover over here, I think. Right, Purgator Thule. He doesn't quite have the range. I mean, he can run up there and get a melee kill, but I'm not sure that's an entirely good idea, considering he just has standard marine power armor and not Terminator suit. What can I do? What can I do? I can move him up to here.
Onward, brothers.
And now he should have the range. Yes, he does. I'm going to buff this with a Psychic Onslaught. That's going to get all of them.
As you will. For the golden throne.
Well, it didn't kill all of them, but it's close enough. And then I'll pop his Aegis Shield. Now then, Justicar Iolanthus. He's kind of too far back to really do anything immediately. I'm getting very worried about the patrols to the left and the right, but I can move him back here ready to intercept the reinforcements coming through the warp portal. And the reinforcements are unlikely to be especially strong, and, well, he is a Justicar. He can handle it. Right. Enemy turn. How bad can things possibly get? There's the seed carrier at the back. What's he up to? Could have been worse.
You will bleed.
Okay, it was a very good idea to use the Aegis Shield. They're on 34 too. We just got outflanked. Here come the reinforcements. Right, it doesn't look like any of the reinforcements through the warp portal actually have a ranged weapon. Maybe one of them does, so that's good. And while I do still need a couple of melee kills, I can't really afford to be too precious about it. So, grenade out. This isn't going to kill any of them, but it will scatter them, and it will ensure that the survivors of the grenade are one-shot kills. I'll finish this guy off with my second action point. And unfortunately, none of the others are actually in line of fire or range. But I can blast this statue over with my third and final action point and take 2 out of the plot in one. Including the only one of them, I think, that had a ranged weapon, so that's good. Right, next. Okay, another melee kill coming up. Nice and easy. Apothecary Hahn. Finishes this guy off. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. This is exactly what I did not need to happen. Well, shit. Okay, the seed carrier I can't actually hit, but I have bigger problems here coming in through the side door. So the ability that I unlocked on Apothecary Hahn in the last mission I'm going to use here. This Scourge attack will inflict a bleed effect on everybody caught within the area of effect. Now I need to do something with Justicar Boars here. Grenade? Actually, yeah, actually I think a grenade would be good. I know I need melee kills, but I mean, I'm spoilt for choice here. There's a lot of bad guys. Way more than I can comfortably handle. So any opportunity to thin their ranks down is going to be good. I can take this guy out. 1 action point left. I think the Aegis Shield might be a very, very good idea. And that leaves this guy, who Purgator Fool can finish off with another melee attack. And that puts him into at least partial cover behind the table there. I only need 1 more kill with melee weapons. He's too far away, unfortunately, to be able to shoot any of them. We've got 2 action points left. Can I move him up to somewhere useful? And then maybe set up Overwatch? No, he's still out of range of pretty much everything. Okay, I guess Overwatch is the only realistic thing that I can do here. Because the rest of those guys are going to come straight through that gate and swarm Justicar Boars. Here they come. First the Plague Walker. And Justicar Boars gets a reaction attack off, which unfortunately triggers his pestilential explosion. And Justicar Boars is now plagued, although he didn't suffer any actual damage from it. The Overwatch does kill one of them. Justicar Boars gets a second reaction attack off, unfortunately without killing one. And the combination of his Terminator armor and the Aegis Shield that he used is enough to prevent him from taking almost all of the damage, and the bleed effect from Apothecary Hahn's area of effect Scourge attack was enough to finish off another one. So This could very easily have been a lot worse. Oh shit, what's that? Oh no. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh, not again. Oh, come on. I just killed... This is why you have to kill the Plague Walkers. Right, so I'm beset on 3 sides. I killed almost all of them, and now I have to kill almost all of them again. Fantastic. Oh, don't you dare. No, don't even think about it. Keep walking. Right. So, at least I'm only being attacked on 3 sides rather than 4. Okay, what to do. So he's under Overwatch and surrounded by enemies. I'm moving Purgator Thule up. How many of these can I take out? Oh, I'd love to use the Psychic Onslaught to just clear out all the bad guys around the Justicar there, but I need to remove the Overwatch. So, yeah. Note that the warp meter is already up to 75%. Well, the good news is I've gotten my 8 melee kills. The bad news is I'm going to need a lot more. I could get another kill here, but I think it's more important to reinforce Justicar Balls' armour. Now, Apothecary Hahn is the only one in a position to do anything about the seed carrier here. So, 1 point to move up, 1 to hit him once, and then mission complete. You know what I said about managing your objectives and the timing of things that are going to be very, very bad for you? I now have to hold out for 3 turns, and I'm still in combat, and there are more reinforcements on the way. And the warp meter's at 80%. So here is the classic Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters dilemma. If I don't use any psychic abilities, there will not be a warp surge next turn. But if I don't use any psychic abilities, I'll probably die. Right. Boosting this Stormbolter attack with a Psychic Bolt to guarantee the death of that Plague Walker. Unfortunately, that has now raised the warp meter to 85%, which means I have just guaranteed another warp surge in the next turn. On the bright side, it once again means that it doesn't really matter if I continue to use psychic abilities, so rather than killing another one of these resurrected lesser Poxwalkers, I pop Justicar Iolanthus' Aegis Shield, which I think turned out to be the right thing to do, because the third and final patrol just showed up. I don't think there are many ways that this mission could have possibly gone any worse. And hands up, I admit that it was my own mismanagement of the warp surge meter that created a lot of the bad situations that I found myself in this mission, but at the same time, I mean, come on. Having to fight almost everybody at the same time, on all sides, and then after mostly successfully, almost doing that, having them all come back to life, and then having to do it again. And then having to hold out for 3 turns, while I get another warp surge and more reinforcements. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. One of my knights is hobbled. I'm not entirely sure what that does, but I suspect it reduces his action points and therefore his movement. That could have been way, way worse. Imagine if I'd gotten the lesser Poxwalker gift again. And all of the guys that I just killed, some of them for the second time, are reanimated again. Can you imagine the shit show this would have become? So I guess I should be grateful for small mercies. Right, I have to survive for another 2 turns. That's going to be challenging. You know, it's at this point where I was really wishing that I'd unlocked some of the stratagems that you can play. For example, I can't remember what it's called. Trinity Gate? Holy Gate? It's a mass teleport where you can basically teleport your entire squad to one location. It's the kind of ability that's tailor-made for exactly this sort of situation, where you have to hold out with reinforcements incoming, and not friendly reinforcements. You're already engaged in combat. And you just need to consolidate your squad in one location where there are no bad guys behind them and they can just hunker down, set up the overwatch and weather the storm. But at this point I don't think I've actually unlocked any of the stratagems. You research them back on the Baleful Edict via Inquisitor Vakir, and Inquisitor Vakir does not yet actually have any Chaos Seeds, certainly no undamaged ones. That's the whole reason why I'm here in the first place. And Chaos Seeds are what are used to unlock research, so yeah, I don't actually have any stratagems yet. So since we are actually here to recover undamaged Chaos Seeds, that means I'll probably unlock the stratagem system at the end of this mission. Doesn't really help me now, of course. I think the first stratagem that you unlock is the ability to give one of your knights an extra 2 action points once per mission, which is useful obviously, but not quite as useful as being able to teleport the entire squad to a position of my choice anywhere on the battlefield would be. Learned something useful there though. Apothecary Harn's Scourge ability, that area of effect bleed, doesn't need line of sight. He can actually target through walls, so that's good. Right, let's get everybody armoured up into cover and prepare to weather the onslaught. Looks like Apothecary Harn got a... and it missed. Got a reaction attack off against that cultist, but it didn't do any damage. Oh man, Justicar Balls is in a lot of trouble back there. Overwatch. Here they come. Justicar Iolanthus at the back here, tanking like a boss. With all Overwatch fire from Purgator Thule. Everybody's got the maximum use of cover and or Aegis shields. Oh no, 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 why would you do that? I swear this game has got it in for me. Infamy, infamy, they've all got it in for me. Frankie Howard fans, you're welcome. I'm really struggling to see the bright side here, but hey, I guess you could always... At least I'm not going to get another Warp Surge this turn. And I only have to hold out until the end of this turn. Justicar Balls back there is in a lot of trouble. I'd love to move Apothecary Harn up there in order to heal him, but I don't seem to have enough action points to do it. I think he was the one who got hit by the Hobbled Affliction earlier. But they're at least now both in cover together. Now then, Justicar Balls. I don't need to worry about triggering a Warp Surge now, so I'll buff this attack with a Force Strike. Pop his Aegis Shield. And then get his ass right back into hard cover. Now then, Purgator Thule, my range support. Who can he support at range? I think Justicar Iolanthus down here could probably do with some help. But who can he actually hit? Who does he have line of fire to? Let's have a look. Yep. And the Psychic Onslaught will hit 2 of them. Which is better than 1. And I'm not going to trigger the Warp Surge. So it's totally worth it. Right. You know what? Yep, that's another kill. I'll do it.
Empty.
And we're going to pop your Aegis Shield. Not going to worry about reloading. We only have to hold out to the end of the turn. So I don't particularly want to wander into anybody else's line of sight. So I'm going to reload Justicar Iolanthus' Storm Bolter. Blow this guy's head off from range. Because otherwise... Oh, you've got to be kidding. He was in the area of effect of the Plague Explosion anyway. Fantastic. Right, whatever. Aegis Shield up. Enemy turn. And I just have to stay alive throughout this enemy turn. And that should be it. Aegis Shield once again proving its worth. Easy going to go for Apothecary Harn. Terminator Armor and Aegis Shield, no problem. Yeah, you can set up all the Overwatch you like, my son. I ain't going anywhere except home, teleporting out at the end of this turn. Another sneaky reaction kill there from Justicar Iolanthus. And come on, do your worst. We're ready for it. Yep. Aegis Shield holding. And that could have been worse. This could have been a lot worse. The bloom's rising, doesn't matter. Teleport sequence initiating, we've made it out. Damn, that was close. I think pretty much all of my Marines got injured on that one, particularly the new Justicar, but we recovered undamaged Chaos Seeds, so Waifu Vakir, while she's unlikely to ever actually be happy, she might at least be marginally less pissed off for a change. I completed the Glorious Deed, 8 melee kills. I've got substantially more than 8 melee kills, which gave me 2 bonus requisition points for a total of 7, which I can now spend on the newly unlocked post-battle armory access. So this is some master crafted armour, like regular armour, but better. And also a fresh rank 2 Purgator Grey Knight Marine reinforcement sent to join us from Titan. So that's nice. So yeah, just about everybody's injured. But Iolanthus has a promotion to rank 3. Now you're going to see me dabbling around in the various different new abilities here. I did not know this at the time, I do now, but too late for this, that the single best ability a Justicar can have is Honour the Chapter, and it's this one, here. What this does is it allows the Justicar to choose a knight anywhere and give them an extra 1 action point. You can upgrade this ability so it gives them 4 action points and 1 willpower. Remember, most of your knights, unless they've received upgrades of their own, are going to start off with 3 action points. This ability will give them 7 action points and a bonus willpower, and basically turns them into an unstoppable killing machine. It's particularly useful if you give it to an Interceptor Marine who can use his Teleport Strike ability once you've unlocked it to teleport straight into the middle of a whole bunch of enemies, dealing up to 6 damage to all of them just from the teleport, and then with his 7 action points start laying around him with his power swords, basically wiping out an entire group of enemies in 1 turn. I'm going to have to give that a try, just, not today.
You serve the Emperor well, Commander. We should study this seed at once. Everything rests on what we might learn from it.
Indeed it does, Waifu Inquisitor Vakir, but what it's actually done in the short term is unlock the stratagem system. I only have the 1 Quicksilver, target a knight once during a mission, and give him a bonus 2 action points, but there are plenty more to unlock. And that is basically all of the systems and mechanics of Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters unlocked and ready to go. The game can be said to only really truly start from this point on. And it is shaping up to be a lot of fun. I mean, I've always been a fan of this type of game, tactical turn-based combat. I was a huge fan of the original XCOM, I played Terror from the Deep, XCOM 2 obviously, hell, if you go back far enough I even played Laser Squad on the Commodore Amiga. And this, more of the same, just with a lot more heresy and a lot more heavy flamers. Although I haven't actually unlocked a heavy flamer yet. Apparently there's a secret class, the Purifier, that basically just revolves around burning everything with righteous fire later on in the game. But we'll get there when we get there. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you're all having a great day. And as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.